What is up, my angels and demons? This doesn't seem right. I am back as your host. Well, the only host this time around, live with Justin. Or Demon, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. This doesn't seem right. I don't like there. No. Fine. It works. But yeah, today's video is all about, my weapons. And swords, knives, and I'm going to call it a weapon in general. But yeah. So we can get right into this. We'll start with my roommate stuff first because he has less than I do, and we'll start with his machete. Should have figured out how to put this video in a better quality. Just realizing this now. Nah. So this Walmart, pretty good. I just don't care too much for this. This doesn't have a solid piece of metal through it, and this is stupid internet. I don't want to restart my computer. Leave me alone. If it had metal going through this, it would make a great punching weapon. Whatever. But as I can see, I'm assuming that this goes all the way through because of the rivets or the nuts and bolts. But it's not a bad machete. It's just, although heavy, the weight's up here, you want more of the weight in the middle here, about an inch to 2 inches up. But it is a slashing weapon, so it'll make you want to go with the weapon, unfortunately. But you want to sit there and just slash. You don't want to take a lot of energy out of it. It's not a bad build quality. I used it out in the woods for a couple of days. It was actually pretty good. Recommend. It was kind of cheap at Walmart. Go forth. It was good. On to the next one. His katanas. Well, we're not going to get really into the story of that. Let's move the keyboard. Okay, move that. Bring this out. These are for show. From what I gather, the tang doesn't go all the way through, so I'm assuming it's just for show. They have their own pedestal and stuff. I'm just going to take that all out. I'm going to take one out. We got the full size. Wow, that's not really full size, but an average size for a katana. I'm just going to take the small one out because these are a pain in the ass to open. Should have thought about this first. Then did it. Like, don't get me wrong. This is beautiful. I like the scabbard. I like the little specks in it. I don't know how well you can see the specks. The handle is nice and grippy. I like that. They actually used Stingray, which is shocking, Stingray skin on the inside of here for a showpiece. But it's dull. I can run my blade up and down it. Not a big deal. But super shiny. Look, you can see yourself. Yeah. It's not a bad weapon. The tang only goes to about here because it's only pinned here. But in my hand, I could use it for a couple swings. You hit bone, wood, or what have you with this. I mean, don't hurt anybody with a weapon, obviously, but it will break. But it is a nice katana. Well, smaller version of the katana. I just don't remember what the word is right now, and I don't really care. Let's put that away. Next, we're going to go into, I have more swords myself, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We're just doing his weapons first. Well, showpieces / weapons. But still, it's a beautiful set. I can't give any anger on this or anything like that. It's actually quite nice. Do I remember how to put this back in the box? I did. Next are one's hunting. We'll get there. We'll start with this one. It's a Tactical Force. It's from M-Tech. It's not a bad blade at all. Has great weight to it. It's where it should be, right where the finger hole is right here. I enjoy this blade quite much. I do like the offset. The only thing I don't like about this weapon is this. All it does was take the weight of the blade, which is nice. It's full tang. I love full tang things. But I like to grip my weapons up a little bit higher. This doesn't allow me to do that. It's, you know. All in all, an M-Tech blade. On the cheaper end, no matter how you look at it, M-Tech is usually cheaper, but these are nice knives. These are military blades. These are for combat use. That's pretty much, yeah. The little case and everything, pretty nice too. I kind of wish though, like either leather or some type of plastic or polyurethane. That would make it look even nicer. And the upside is it has pockets, extra cordage. Never know when you need cordage. Yeah, not a bad blade. I just don't like a few things about it, but guess what? It's not mine. Blade number 2. Going slightly bigger this time. This one, my friend, is hunting knife. Cleaver style. Very heavy. Most of the weight is in the handle, so if I put it, it's about evenly weighted, no matter what. But we have a chisel at the top, rope hook. If you want to call this a saw, I wouldn't use it for a saw. It's kind of pointless. And we got my hole that I like, so I can go up closer and wield it much better. Because you don't want to wield a weapon like this. Yes, it stops somebody from kicking at your hand at the same time, but you can't get reach with this. There is no reach. You want to go in and slash and be done. But this is a hunting knife, cleaver style, which is great for a lot of things. I wouldn't gut an animal with this, but I would use it to help me cut down some tree logs, bring them down to kindling and stuff like that to start a fire. All in all, pretty good knife. It's an Elite Tactic, which is an M-Tech steel blade, but full tang, nice and heavy, and it feels good in your hand. I'm a big fan. And this one too has a pocket. I think the pocket for these, though, I believe are for sharpening stones, which if that's the case, yeah, get some sharpening stones up here. Now the next weapon is a cross between a hunting knife and a machete. Or machete. I just like saying machete. But we'll start with the main feature. We have a little tiny throwing knife, cutting knife. I don't know. I can't wield this for anything. I guess you could open boxes with it. There is... It's not sharp, though. It looks like they should have been fish hook or fish gutters or any of that. But they have 2 wrench sockets, which I believe would be used for air tanks. From what I've noticed now with the new knives that have them in there, they're for air tanks for divers. So that was pretty good to learn. Now on to the big boy. You know what? Nah, I'm not going to call this any of that. This is a chopper. This is too big to be a fish hook, so I'm assuming it'd be for cutting rope and stuff. There was an actual saw on the back of this, which, ow, should have did that, which I would trust to cut into wood. The only problem I have, though, is since the tang or the grip or the hilt only goes this way, and I want to hold the blade to cut something this way, I'm going to slip. That looked wrong. I'm not apologizing. But yeah, blade's nice and sharp. I wish they would have sharpened this up here a bit. You could have used that for, digging into something, what have you. All in all, nice blade. I just wish this wasn't made out of plastic. A wooden handle for something this big would have been a lot better. Like I said with the machete that I showed you earlier, with that, wooden for machetes would be a lot better. This plastic, it looks like a molding. I'm not a fan from past experiences with my last video that I did with one of these. It's shattered. As soon as it hit the ground, it just exploded. Not a fan of that. All right, now we're going to get into mine stuff. I'm excited. Yeah. All right, let's start with my hunting knives. Small version of kukri. I loved this blade when I was out in the woods. We got a rope cutter. This, I actually didn't mind this. It made it grippier, easier. Funny thing is, I use this for more wood whittling and what have you. It's a beautiful blade. It's well balanced, and it was cheap. This one is stainless steel U.S. design for survival, apparently. Full tang, which I like, but they put on like a rubber coating. I love, fits your hand. You can be sweaty. It's not going to fly out. Big fan of this weapon, no matter what. Next weapon. This is my kitchen knife for outdoors. And I hit myself in the head with that. Was good. It's great. It's nice and sharp still. I have yet to sharpen this blade, which is pretty nice. My only problem with this thing, besides, I wish there was an actual handle and they put a little cord on the bottom of it. Personally, it's it's not weighted very well at all. I was wrong. I don't like this, but for outdoors, for cutting up food or what have you, perfect little weapon for it. This is an Outbound Walmart brand. I paid about maybe $15 for it. Still a nice piece of weapon because it was from, it's stainless steel. Easy to keep sharp, so on and so forth. Great little weapon. Now the Creux de Cas. This is my all-time favorite hunting knife. I brought 3 out with me out to the woods. This is the bad boy I used for everything. I used it to split wood. I used it to gut animals. I used it, if you could think about it, I used it for it. I have a thick spine, still sharp. I've only had to sharpen it once. There's no spurs in the blade. I have no issues with this. Yes, the black pattern has some scratches and stuff on it, but I went hard with this thing. This is another Outbound knife. This cost me $10. Out of the knives that I spent a lot more money on, this is still my favorite because there's that slight curve into it. It was good for everything I needed it for. And I still gonna use this. That's how great this thing is. Until it snaps, it's my everything knife. Love this blade. I would like, though, down the road, maybe get a little leather case for this. Make it look all proper and fancy and shit, you know? This is nice and all, but eventually I have a feeling because I make sure these things are sharp. It's going to slice through. And, you know, the sheath. And the other thing I don't like is it's Velcro-y. Not a fan, personally, but yeah, it's still one. Let's go on to the next 3 pieces, which are my decorative, which I have a few more too, but these are the ones that go on the wall or off to the side. This is called a Hellfish. Oh, that's what it says on the wall. I think I have it for. Great weapon. In theory, great weapon. My downside, it is super sharp, but the handle sucks monkey dick. A lot of monkey dick. A lot of it. The curve is nice. It's good for whatever you want. These are sharp too if you want to, you know. But in general, it doesn't hold well. It doesn't feel good in the hands. That's why it stays up on a wall. But if it's an emergency, I guess it would work. But it's not a bad blade. I like the style, but that's as far as this blade goes. I hate to give it shit. It's mine, but decoration, right? Now we got the Dragon. It's a dagger, obviously. It's not sharp. It was. I took the sharpness out of it because I kept stabbing myself with it. This is still super pointy. It'll make me bleed. It always has. It feels good in my hand. It looks good in my hand. It could be, you know, a weapon for Dungeons and Dragons. That's how cool it looks. It's designed same on both sides, which is got some claws going on and the actual dragon face. Intimidating, right? But it is a showpiece, and it sits on top of my fridge in my bedroom. Next one. This is pretty much getting around to the next step of my throwing weapons and stuff. We have the claw. Some Batman shit wannabe things. This is a United weapon. It's a stainless steel, handcrafted. It's a U.S. weapon. But it doesn't need to be sharp. It does stick to things. I have no issue with it, except doing that and almost cutting something off it shouldn't be. But I digress. But this is a wall weapon. It's for show. It's shiny. It helps with the ADHD mind. And I'm ADHD, of course. But you can hold it, use it as a regular weapon. Good for defense. You can flip it over quickly, so on and so forth. But in general, the S8 of this, like I said, it looked cool just for my wall. That's pretty much all this is for. Would I use it for anything? Probably not. Probably hurt myself before I hurt anybody else. So, kind of lied. Next weapon is not throwing, but we're getting closer. We got my balsam, or for most people know it as, it's a butterfly knife. It's not sharpened because that is illegal hardcore in Canada, obviously. Yeah, I can run my blade up and my finger up and down, not a big deal. But it's great just to mess with. I like the color of it, green, there's purple. It's just how it was tempered. It's actually quite beautiful to me. That's why I own it. If the zombie apocalypse or anything came up like that, I would sharpen the blade instantly. It's a nice knife, and for what I need in an instant, would be great. And it's great for a nose breaker, just a tap and a snap a nose. And yes, I have it in glasses case because guess what? It needs a case. Damn. All right. Throwing weapons. So this originally had some, I want to call them stretchy thing, whatever. Elastic pretty much that's stuck to your leg. Side of your leg or side of your arm or what have you. I took them out because I didn't like them. Pretty good. Me and a friend threw these around. This was the only one that didn't bend or misshapen, which I was pretty shocked because this was the cheap one. Go figure. And it's stainless steel. We have a saw, which actually works, shockingly. In a survival situation, I would take this. If this is the only choice I have, I would hardcore take this. But yeah. For now, it's just good like that. Maybe I'll figure out a wrapping for here. My belt. We're good to go. All right. My throwing knife kit. This one is Defense Extreme. These are skulls, pretty much. They're all the same. I'll just show you the one. These are remarkably light, though. Which, when you want a throwing knife, personally, you want something heavy, something to stick, something, these are, within reason. They have sharp. The edges are sharp, which is shocking. The edges are great, which I don't know why you would do that for a throwing knife, but, shits and giggles. But I bought it because, the skull spider design. Yeah. And the box closed on me. And this comes in a set of 6. Funny thing is, I got this at a pawn shop. No less. This one's bent. But yeah. I love them. Next weapon. Not technically throwing. Not technically. Well, it's not a knife or a sword, but it's projectiles. Brought this out to the woods with me too, this bad boy. And I always thought that a slingshot was just a toy. Until I realized that I can go through a raccoon's head with ease. Delicious meal, by the way. But, yeah. Thing's great. Again, the temper. This is why I went for this one, because it has the purple. I like my purple. It's shiny because, ADHD. I have a grip, and it takes these magnetic pachinko balls. Yeet. Which I can go different sizes, but these ones seem to be perfect. Velocity, striking range, and goddamn do they hit it. Don't shoot yourself with them. I made that mistake. But yes, that was loud. I apologize for anybody using headphones. And now I gotta fix it again. And what I like the most about this, it's magnetic. I always keep extra ammo on myself. But these are not children's toy. Whenever anybody told anybody this, it's not a child's toy. It is dangerous. I know firsthand. All right, next ones. Got myself a golden karambit or a claw, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful blade. I enjoy this very much. Fits nicely in my hand. 3 fingers, pinky here. But it works even better as a tactical weapon. And the spinning purposes are great. These things are super sharp. I would classify this as like a razor talon or a raptor claw. It will strike through and kill. If this was Forged in Fire, if anybody knows the show, it will kill. Great weapon. I enjoy it. I also got it because it was gold. I know it's just a paint job, but beauty is beauty. Oh, I wrecked the plastic thing. So why you don't get plastic, because they break way too easily. Next one is another showpiece. It was my grandfather's. I have a lot of my grandfather's knives and stuff, but they're not weapons. They're showcase pieces. I'll just show you one. I have 2 of these. This is still razor sharp though, but it is a beautiful work of art. It's Indian crafted. There is a buffalo in it with a tribalman. But I don't know what style of knife this is, but it feels nice in the hand. It's nicely weighted. It's heavy. I really like this. Too bad it wasn't just stuck together with glue, because this would be a great weapon in general. But I digress. It is beautiful. Great to look at. And I like to throw it around. Next weapon. I'm piling up over here. Now we're into flip knives. Outbound one. This one goes out to me with the woods with me. It's sturdy. If you haven't noticed yet, I do like outbound weapons. They are my favorite. This was nice and sturdy. And it's cheap. I paid $8 for this thing. And guess what? It has yet to fail me. We'll get to a knife that I paid a lot of money for, and it has failed me. But I like the curve. Everything is great about this knife. In a pinch, it's great for anything you need it for. I love it. And the red and black ain't too shabby, eh? One of my favorite ones. It's cleaver style. And it has the Punisher skull on it. It's a nice blade. It's from Wrath Tech, which I never heard of before I got this knife, but I've used it for a lot of things. It's starting to wear out. It's 3 or 4 years old. It's a pretty good knife, though. It's one that I would normally keep on me before people started getting angry that I was carrying a knife, even though it's for opening a box or if I need something. You know, it's stupidity, in my opinion. But it was one of my carry knives. All right, let's open up the goodie box. Oh, whatever this is called. Start with a Kanto. Baby katana. It's cheap. I'll tell you that right now. There is a dragon, I assume. It looks like it was just laser etched or just painted on there. But it was supposed to be a little opener. Justin, though, decided that it needed to be sharp. So I sharpened the hell out of it. It's kind of heavy, actually. I wouldn't recommend using this for anything, but like I said, shits and giggles, and I like the way it feels in my hand. Let's go up to my favorite pocket knife. I'm a big fan of pocket knives. And again, because of the temper, we got Tac Force. This has a dragon on it as well. And it's purple, it's blue, it's a beautiful weapon. We have a seatbelt cutter. We have a glass breaker on the end of it. Heavy, though. I it shouldn't be this heavy. I hate to have down points on most of my weapons I have, but it still feels good. It feels great. It feels good. If I need to do anything with it, it was a carry for a while as well. There are a few scratches on the blade, which I wish I didn't do because it is beautiful to look at. I mean, again, look at this beauty. Ah, shiny. But yeah, I digress from that because, I did it. It's over with, whatever. You back in the Casey case. Now my baby knife. Bought this for work when I worked at Pizza Works in St. Thomas. I didn't like to open boxes with what they had. I don't want to use a chef knife to open a box because that is very stupid and they should realize that, but that's besides the point. No one's going to realize it, whatever. So I bought this little thing. Has a seatbelt cutter on it, glass breaker, and the damn little tiny thing is as sharp as a motherfucker. I like it. I like it a lot. One of my faves, actually. Actually, I could probably, you know what? My new carry knife. Hell yeah. Okay, I lied. There's another knife in here. There's another one of my Papa's knife. It's an old school style. It has the deer on it. It's sharp too, but it's flimsy. And like I said before with the other one, this is more or less, you look at it, ooh, it's great. And because it was my Papa's, that's why I love it most. I have the same infatuation with him like he had with knives and stuff. That's why I like them. It doesn't matter if I have to use them or they're just good to look at. Now it's time for my zombie knife. Yes, I had to have a zombie knife, which, zombies. Bam. But the flick, though. One more. Weighted properly, this one cost me almost $100 because I had to have it. And it's made by Z Hunter, which is a zombie brand, obviously, because of Z Hunter. But they do make weapons for this for people like me who are still into zombies. Probably shouldn't have did that. Teeth, not a fan of too much, but they are great to cut rope. Up here is nice and sharp. I like the design of the blade. I like how everything just fits into your fingers. It was like it was meant to be there. I can index it no problem. It's just a beautiful piece of work of art. If I ever used it, I have a feeling that the scales might pop off and stuff. But, Next knife. We are going with cop style because there's a badge on it. Yeah. Hey. Cram it whole again. Really big fan of these. And I have a bigger hand too, and it still fits me no problem. I love the shape and design of the curvature of it. This blade is super, super light. It's good for fast, quick, go, and just keep going forward type situations. And the only downside is put a goddamn flashlight on it. I'm not putting batteries in it though, but there's a flashlight on here. Not a fan. And again, like my other the other ones I showed you, it has a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter. But other than that, if it didn't have this, I would have a lot more praise for this weapon. But I picked this up at the pawn shop, like most of my weapons. I think I paid $20 tops, so I can't complain. Now we're going to go with another M-Tech. And you can probably know why I got this knife. It's purple. It's so cute. You just want to tuck it in at night. It's so cute. Kind of gives me a vibe of a straight edge blade in general. Not like these ones, but just a straight edge with a partial hoop. Got myself a beer bottle opener or bottle cap opener. I got a screwdriver on the back of it. I got it because it was purple. Yes, I'm going to tuck it in and give it a bedtime story. That's how adorable it is. Next one is another purple one. Well, purple camo. I got this in St. Thomas at a variety store. It cost me $26, something like that. At a variety store, no less. Oh. Now we got a curve at the top here. It kind of reminds me of a really small version of a Tau Ward, which is a sword, but obviously with the curve and everything on it. This is made by Snake Eye. Feels good in my hand. My only problem is this is cheap. It's made out of plastic or some type of carbonate. Only thing metal on this is the clip and the blade itself. And it was made in China. But I guess another showpiece. It's cute to look at too. And that's why I pretty much got it. And now my flame blade. We got a chrome flame blade. Blah, blah, blah. Can't talk apparently. Again, we have another straight edge going on here. Aw, dirty as a mofo. That's better. Made by M-Tech, which is another, I'm a fan of them as well. Made it shiny again. This design here is meant to make the blade lighter because this whole thing is made out of metal. It has some girth and some weight. It's... See, I would like to see how I could skin an animal with this, for being honest. I think this would work pretty well. But yeah, we got a little bit more of that coloration that I do enjoy a lot from... the hell is this called? The clip. I like the coloration, like the purple one I have and stuff. I'm a big fan of stuff like that. Yeah. Beautiful knife, though. This one cost me like $80, though, because I had to have it. I just had to have it. No, stop fucking with me. I wonder why I'm just keep looking over here, just make sure we're still live and recording and my voice is still going through no problem. Now we get on to my swords. We will start with the gold one. We have a Hero Edge blade. I got this from Forest City. I would prefer a better wrap because all it is like shoestring and a piece of wood on the inside. It's just, if you try to go in for a hard swing, it's going to slide. And that's not a good time for anybody. I think it's a showpiece because there's teeth on here. Yes, that will hurt anybody. I got it again because what'd I do with it? It matches the Karambit. And I guess you could dual wield, yo. I just realized this. Put it down, Justin. But yeah. Not a bad sword. I think I paid like $30-40 for it at Forest City Surplus at Gibraltar's. Before we get to the katanas, because we all know I have katanas. I paid $5 for this bad boy. It's dull as a motherfucker. I can grab onto it, shake it around. It's not going to slice me open. It is another one just like this. This is a Hero Edge. But my only downside with it, because I have to keep fixing it, what keeps this together is the nut on the end here. As soon as that comes off, it gets loose. The only other problem I have with it, since it's supposed to be, 1080 stainless steel, it shouldn't do this. That's a major flex for this. But all in all, look at what I did. I don't know if you can see what I did there, but I bent my blade. That's better. But all in all, you pay $5 for something, you get $5 worth of items, in my opinion. But I think it looks cool. But if it came in a two-piece, it'd be like a ninja style, it's a pretty good time. And again, another Hero Edge. And like I said about the last one, the wrapping, and a piece of wood. If they put an actual handle on this, I would be really, really a fan of this thing. But you can see why I am a fan of it. We have skulls, little demon skulls and stuff. I don't know how well that picks. There's a skull on that. I don't know why it's not picking up on the camera, but this thing is heavy. It can be used as two-handed or what have you. But better handle. But it feels so good. But better handle. Like, I love the weapon. No regrets on this. It's beautiful. Black and red. Like, you know. Again. Black. Oh. Sorry, guys, but. Whew. That's a great sound to hear. All right. Time for the katanas. We want the cheap ones first. Oh, yeah. I'm just throwing around now, apparently. Get that to my way. Red and black, of course, again. I actually don't know what this says. I tried looking them up, and apparently they're just scribble. Paid $30 for this thing. Nothing special. Temper isn't real. There's no sign on this thing. But, you know, I bought it for one reason. Get fuck around with it. But yeah. I sharpened it. It's actually not as sharp as it was because I messed with it. But you could see how it's fake. It looks like they ground it in the temper lines, which I is not a fan of, though. Okay, that's still straight. Plastic, not a fan of, but I do like doing this to it because, you know, I'm a dick. Because it seems so cool. But other than that, I do like the fittings. The fittings on here are dragon. I don't know if you've noticed I had a thing for dragon so far. But yeah. All the fittings are dragon. We have fake eel skin on the bottom of this because, you know, super right. And I don't mind this style. I'll show you what I'm talking about for the next one, though. Now, time to get into one of my... I only got one so far. I want more, but, you know. Time for an anime sword. Da-dum. I am not going to say where this is from. People in the comments, put down the comment where you believe this is from. I'll give you a better look at the symbol. But I will tell you, this is a leaf cutter. And it is magnificent. It's heavy. It's weighted. I wish it was sharper, obviously. And it still has, which I should probably take it off soon, all... Son of a... You didn't see that. And it still has the wax on it. Which, so does my other one, but yeah. I got it because of what it's from. And I have a tattoo of this too. Well, not the sword itself, but I have the tattoo of the person who uses this. Ugh! I love this blade. I picked it up for $20 at Gibraltar. They have like a little pawn shop thing in the back. Where they just had a bunch of... They didn't even know what they had. Come to find out, on Amazon, this thing goes for like $140. So I scored. This is why you Google things, people. And that's... Hey. Whatever. And the final... The coup de crop. The cream of the crop. This is an O katana. This is a basic garbage piece of shit katana. I love it, don't get me wrong, but this is the actual name for it. This is an O katana. What makes this so great is because it's real. It's heavy. It has a signature on the tang, which was so happy to find out. I had to take it apart, but it was so cool to find that shit out. Still has the wax on it. Unfortunately, they had to take down the sharpness because, katanas are technically legal here unless you have the religion for it. If they're real, I should say. Let's put it that way. But since, my religion revolves around stuff like this, I get to keep it. Ooh, the point's still nice and sharp. But this type of katana, an O katana, was meant to do two things. Thrust. It can slash too if you have enough blade on it, but the weight on this thing is meant to break bones. It was used in the Third Dynasty. So if somebody was trying to kill the emperor or what have you, their guards would break their bones, so the emperor would have the honor of decapitating that guy. History. Greatness. But yes, the black, the simplistic of this, it is beautiful. There are feathers on the guard, which is nice as well. Straight pommel. It's just hammered on, which is still pretty nice though. And we have shark skin. Now let's get on to the scabbard. This is actually made out of wood, which you could technically fight with it. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, my dumbass kind of screwed up. I had this in my closet. Something fell, and I feel so bad for my scabbard. But it's just surface damage. I assume I could do whatever to fix that. But, and of all my weapons, it is beautiful. It's heavy. You do need 2 hands for this motherfucker. Whew. And that, my friends, is all that I have, I think. Don't question me on this. I have no idea. I think that's all my weapon. Well, I should have classified my multi-tool I bring out to the woods with me as a weapon. There's a chisel on it, can opener, what have you. A saw that actually works pretty well for something I got for $30. If any people American are watching this, Kane's friends and stuff like that, that's Canadian. It's probably more money in American. Another type of saw. I didn't use this one too much. I didn't understand why. Got screwdrivers on here. Oh, I also like there's a locking mechanism on this, so I can't push it forward and slice into my hand. Which, by the way, super sharp. Yeah. Up we go. And I'm back. I'm not in the right spot. Still. Super sharp. I use it for my ferro rod. Which, if you don't know what a ferro rod is, that's a ferro rod. By the way, that was kind of cool. It's a sparkler! I should probably start at that unless I want to start myself on fire. But yeah, I think that's all I think I have at the moment. We'll be posting another video in a little bit too. Try not to get scared, I'm assuming. We're going to watch some creepy videos on YouTube. I will post that. That will actually be edited, not like this, where there is no really any swearing involved, because for some reason I'm the only one who swears in my videos. But it'll actually be edited. We have a whole logo design and everything. It's great. It's awesome. But yeah. Oh, and if you want to know, I'm doing this through my TV. Or my roommate's TV. My TV's in the bedroom. So I can see everything that's going on. I can watch myself. It's kind of awesome. So that's pretty much what this is for. It's not going to show because it's... Wait. I got this. Yeah. And I'm doing it from the TV behind me. This is just for me to keep an eye on what's going on. So I use it for sound, I use it for video quality, so on and so forth, which my TV doesn't make it look so good, but doesn't seem too bad on my phone. But yeah, we've been doing this now for 45 minutes, coming up to 45, 30 seconds. I will have another video out in about an hour or two, give or take. I think it's try not to jump challenge or get scared or whatever. It's a scary video type thing that we're just going to sit here and watch. But yeah, other than that, I think we're done the video. I hope you enjoyed me showing off my fucking babies. My girlfriends. Yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed this one. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, soul song, and dance. Peace off, my angels and demons.